Namaskar, good morning. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I'm Smriti Rastogi with Breakfast News. Let's begin the bulletin with the headlines. India, Germany to sign 20 agreements today on bilateral cooperation after talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Merkel to also co-chair 5th intergovernmental consultation. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to represent India at SCO meet in Tashkent underscores benefits from the forum in the fields of economic cooperation, counter-terrorism. Home Ministry denies reports of a final pact with Naga groups, says talks yet to conclude with insurgent groups, assures all stakeholders including Assam, Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh will be consulted before settlement. US House of Representatives approves procedure to impeach President Donald Trump. White House terms the move unfair and unconstitutional. Trump calls it the greatest witch hunt in America. Cyclone MAHA causes heavy rains in Kerala and Lakshadweep. IMD says MAHA likely to intensify to very severe cyclonic storm in next 24 hours. Over 1,000 people shifted to 11 relief camps. In Kerala, fishermen asked not to venture into sea. Our top focus this morning, German Chancellor Angela Merkel is in India for a two-day visit and will hold talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi today. Merkel was welcomed by MOS Jitendra Singh on Thursday and is accompanied by officials of 12 ministries and a high-powered business delegation. Both leaders will talk on a number of bilateral issues and nearly 20 agreements are expected to be signed between the two countries, including on museum cooperation, football, agriculture, development, and social security. Merkel will co-chair 5th intergovernmental consultations with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, following which the two leaders will make press statements. During the IGC, both will discuss deepening of cooperation in transport, skill development and energy, and explore possibilities for cooperation in newer areas like green urban mobility and artificial intelligence. Merkel will also call on President Ramnath Kovind in the evening. On Saturday, the German leader will meet a business delegation and visit Continental Automotive Components India in Manesar in Gurgaon. In a tweet, the MEA spokesperson Ravish Kumar said, the fifth meeting between the two leaders will further enrich the strategic texture of Indo-German relations.
When Chancellor Merkel is coming here, what is the major thing that is on the table?
Well, there's not one particular topic, but there are quite a number. You see, we have 15 ministries in Germany and 12 will be represented either by a minister or by a state minister coming here. So they have, you can imagine, different topics. From cultural museum exchange to agriculture to transport, railways to cooperation in development, sustainable development, environment protection, tax issues, economic issues, international politics. So there are just endless topics. It's a rather question where to stop.
Right. India and Germany gel very well as far as politics, international politics is concerned, Security Council reforms are concerned. But how India and Germany are doing on economic front? Because Germany is fastest growing economy, European Union, India is also the largest democracy in the world, transparent market. So what are the problems? What India should do more so that German investment can increase in the country?
It's true. Germany is the trade partner #1 in the European Union for India, and also the investments from Germany are the number 7. So this is a very strong relationship between the two countries. We have a ever-growing bilateral trade, which is now more than 22 billion euro, which is quite a number. But of course, things can be better. I tell you, since a few years, things have already improved. There have been quite a number of reforms in the job sector, in other surroundings to bring together companies with challenges where they think there should be something improved. Then we come to us. We check that, and then we go to the Indian side, and we have a mechanism. Every 6 months we do this with your state secretaries and with myself, and we try to find solutions. And so far we have already solved, I guess, 18 or 20 of these cases. Right. This is the way to go. Right. So we can do more.
There's seemingly a slowdown, maybe in India, maybe in Germany also, maybe a global situation. But how India and Germany can cooperate so that this slowdown can be contained in both the countries?
Well, we have to see how much is inflicted by external factors like the price of the oil and other things, and the slowdown and the demands for cars or whatever. So they are sitting in the same boat. But still, we have to find ways how we in India avoid this, that we are feeling the repercussions. And there, you can do a lot of things. We will talk about this with the Minister of Economy and Finance and see what can be done. I don't want to anticipate too much, otherwise there would not be much left to be announced on Friday. But this is one of the topics. That's why we have a business delegation with us.
Okay.
And that's why we meet, and the Chancellor goes to the Chamber of Commerce here, the German Chamber of Commerce, where there are 5,000 members, including Indian companies. So we'll get a good picture what's the lay of the land, and then we act accordingly.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Thank you so much. So let us say is that let us see what is on the table, and let us see what is the result after the meeting. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television in Delhi.
And there we are playing you the live visuals of German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who is in Rajghat to pay tributes to Mahatma Gandhi. She will hold talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi later in the day today. And for more inputs on this, we'll go across to our correspondent Akhilesh Suman, who is joining us over the phone line. Akhilesh, German Chancellor Angela Merkel is on a 2-day visit to India. What is on the agenda of this 5th meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Angela Merkel?
The agenda is, very diverse. And India and Germany are gelling well for last, more than a decade. And our cooperation has also achieved a certain height so that we can do more. So right from political understanding on the global affairs to the economic understanding of the crisis that is going on in the European Union, everything is going to be talked today. And that the Brexit date has been extended till January 31, and nobody knows that how long it will take further to go into the formal understanding between Britain and the rest of the European Union countries. And also, that India and European Union also could not reach any free trade agreement. So in that situation, India and Germany wants to get what they can get to the utmost. And India being the best destination for Germany as far as developing countries are concerned. Germans know that India is the transparent market, and they can do well in many of the areas. And that is why the agenda is right from artificial intelligence in agriculture. Everyone knows that artificial intelligence in industry and many other ways, but artificial intelligence in agriculture, in healthcare, these are the certain micro issues that are going to be discussed and agreement are going to be signed. Other than that, that Germany is very good in football also. And that Germany is very interested in working with India in the sports, especially in football. So they may sign pact on the sending football coaches from Germany to India. Other than that, there are issues of investment. Though Germany is investing well in India, but they are keen in many other areas like, urban issues, like in smart cities, like in many of the metro projects also, rail projects also. So I think both India and Germany are going to be deepening their relationship. And as far as we know that this is German Chancellor Angela Merkel's last term, she has announced already that she will not fight for the next term. So I think she wants to define the India-Germany relationship the best possible way so that the inheritors who are coming here may get best, from India.
Right, Akhilesh. So nearly 20 agreements are expected to be signed between India and Germany. Angela Merkel is expected to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi today. A number of issues related to economic cooperation, football, agriculture, development, security, and artificial intelligence are expected to be signed and discussed between both the countries. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Thailand from November 2nd to 4th. During the visit, he will attend the 16th ASEAN India, 14th East Asia, and 3rd Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Summits to strengthen regional cooperation in key areas such as trade, maritime security, and connectivity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting Bangkok at the invitation of Thai Prime Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will arrive in Bangkok on the evening of 2nd of November and will address the Indian community at the National Indoor Stadium in Bangkok. On 3rd November, Prime Minister Modi will participate in a business event and then co-chair the ASEAN-India Summit with the Thai Prime Minister. He will also attend the East Asia Summit, a platform where the leaders hold discussions on various developments in the region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's final engagement in Thailand will be at the RCEP Summit. The Prime Minister will also hold a number of bilateral meetings during the visit.
Strengthening ASEAN and ASEAN-led mechanisms, enhancing connectivity, whether it is sea, land, air, digital, people-to-people, deepening our economic partnership, enhancing cooperation in the digital domain, including cybersecurity, and improving maritime cooperation are some of the key themes of India-ASEAN cooperation. Prime Minister has 3 important engagements. Prime Minister will attend a special lunch hosted by the Thai Prime Minister for the leaders of the East Asia participating countries, and the leaders in this platform will exchange views on progressing the global sustainable development agenda. The agenda for the forthcoming East Asia Summit is to review the future direction of EAS cooperation and exchange views on regional and international issues. The final engagement of Prime Minister will be the RCEP Summit, where leaders will review the state of negotiations, which are ongoing in Bangkok currently and over the next few days. In addition, on the sidelines of the summit, Prime Minister will also have a number of bilateral meetings.
And Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will represent India at a 2-day meeting of Council of Heads of Government of Shanghai Cooperation Organization in Tashkent beginning Friday. The meeting is intended to further India's association with the SCO members, which will help in greater economic cooperation and also counter-terrorism cooperation, among several other things. The leaders participating in the meeting in Tashkent are expected to focus their discussions on the multilateral economic cooperation and economic development in the SCO region. Singh will also have bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the SCO meet. The SCO is an influential regional security grouping which is seen as a counterweight to NATO. It will be the 3rd CHG meeting of the SCO after India became the member of the grouping in 2017. The last 2 CHG meetings were held in Sochi in Russia in 2017 and in Dushanbe in Tajikistan in 2018. And some more developments, quashing media reports as false. The Home Ministry on Thursday dismissed reports that the Naga Accord has been finalized. The development came just as the October 31st deadline set by the centre for a final settlement with Naga armed groups was about to lapse, as talks to find a lasting solution to the 7-decade-old insurgency problem in Nagaland continued for the 4th consecutive day on Thursday, with the centre's interlocutor and Nagaland Governor R.N. Ravi holding discussions with the NSCNIM. The Home Ministry, in a statement, clarified it is yet to conclude talks with Naga insurgent groups. The ministry also assured that all stakeholders, including the states of Assam, Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh, will be duly consulted and their concerns will be taken into consideration before peace accord is signed. And India has submitted the first official list of 480 pilgrims visiting Kartarpur Sahib Gurdwara on 9th of November to Pakistan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the state-of-the-art passenger terminal building at Dera Baba Nanak in Punjab on 9th of November. Giving information about the preparations for the inauguration of the newly constructed Kartarpur corridor between India and Pakistan, Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that the issue of increasing the daily number of devotees has been raised with Pakistan. And Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan has announced several concessions for Indian pilgrims going to Darbar Sahib Gurdwara. In a tweet, he announced that pilgrims won't need a passport and they will not have to register 10 days in advance. He also waived off fee on day of inauguration and on Guru Nanak's 550th birthday. Both countries had agreed to allow 5,000 pilgrims every day and had also decided that the corridor would be operational throughout the year and 7 days of week.
Around 450 plus 31 member delegation, so around 480 people. We had shared this list with the Pakistani High Commission. We had requested that visas may be granted to them, and perhaps this is for the first time that Pakistan, which tries to project as if they are trying to facilitate the Sikh pilgrimage, we have not heard from them. In fact, we hear that the visas will not be granted. We feel that this is a disrespect to the sentiments of the pilgrims.
The Ministry of External Affairs said on Thursday that the visit by EU MPs to Kashmir was not at all internationalization of the issue, and such delegations do not necessarily have to come through official channels. In its first comments on the issue, the ministry also said that important point was whether such an engagement serves larger national interests.
This is what MEA is expected to do. This is what we have been doing. This is part of our engagement with other countries and think tanks, media. And if I heard what you heard from the members of European Parliament after their visit, I think it is the issue of cross-border terrorism, the role of Pakistan in the cross-border terrorism, which got international opinion. And I think, if you look at what we have done, I think on many occasions, engagement with the diplomatic community is not internationalizing the issue. External Affairs Minister has spoke at different forums in the US, across several platforms. That is not internationalizing. We are supposed to share our perspectives on a certain issue, and we are supposed to share that with different groups of people who would like to get that perspective. So that definitely is not the intent. It is not a question of ceding ground at all. We feel that this is feeding into the larger objective, larger interest which we have.
And news now on Jammu and Kashmir. The Central Board of Direct Taxes on Thursday extended the deadline for filing of income tax returns to November 30th in the newly created Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. The policy-making body for the Income Tax Department issued an order stating that on consideration of reports of disturbances in internet facility in certain areas of Jammu and Kashmir, the CBDT further extends the due date for filing of ITRs and tax audit reports to 30th of November in respect of all categories of income tax assessees in the Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. It said that ITRs filed by the individual taxpayers post the said deadline of August 31st will be considered valid till November 30th. Internet facilities have been clamped down in Jammu and Kashmir following the centre's decision to abrogate provisions of Article 370 on 5th of August. Jammu and Kashmir has been bifurcated into Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh from Thursday. And India hit out at China over its rhetoric on Jammu and Kashmir. The Ministry of External Affairs urged China to refrain from commenting on India's internal matter, stating that India doesn't comment on internal affairs of other countries and expects China to do likewise. Addressing a media briefing, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh are integral parts of India. He added that China has illegally occupied a part of India before expressing concerns about the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor projects. This statement of the MEA spokesperson follows the statement of the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson, in which he described the division of Jammu and Kashmir as illegal and unnecessary.
China is well aware of India's consistent and clear position on this issue. The matter of reorganization of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir into the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh is entirely an internal affair of India. We do not expect other countries, including China, to comment on the matters which are internal to India, just as India refrains from commenting on internal issues of other countries. The Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh are integral part of India. We expect other countries to respect India's sovereignty and territorial integrity. China continues to be in the occupation of a large tract of area in the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. It has also illegally acquired Indian territories from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir under the so-called China-Pakistan Boundary Agreement of 1963. India has consistently conveyed its concerns to both China and Pakistan on the projects in so-called China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is in the territory that has been illegally occupied by Pakistan since 1947.
Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu reconstituted 8 House committees on Thursday. BJP's Prabhat Jha will head the Ethics Committee of Rajya Sabha. Jha replaces his party colleague Narayan Lal Pancharia. BJD's Prasanna Acharya was named chairman of the Committee on Petitions, replacing Jha. T. Subbarami Reddy of the Congress was named chairman of the Committee on Subordinate Legislation. A. Navneetha Krishnan has been named chairman of the Committee on Government Assurances. Om Prakash Mathur of the BJP has been appointed chairman of the House Committee. As per the rules of the House, the Rajya Sabha chairman heads the Business Advisory Committee and the Committee on Rules. By convention, the deputy chairman heads the Committee on Privileges. The new members of the Business Advisory Committee of Rajya Sabha are B.K. Hariprasad, Narayan Lal Pancharia, Vinay P. Sahasrabuddhe, and K. Keshav Rao. The new members of the Committee on Rules include Satyanarayan Jatia, Swapna Das Gupta, and Y.S. Chaudhary, P.L. Punya, Naresh Gujral, Subhash Chandra, and Amar Singh. And Pulse Polio Silver Jubilee was celebrated on the completion of 25 years of the campaign and its success. Union Minister Harshvardhan and Working President of the BJP, J.P. Nadda, addressed the event. On this occasion, Union Minister Harshvardhan also inaugurated intensified mission Indradhanush 2.0, which aims to cover the areas where there is still a scope for vaccination.
New Indradhanush in the new form that we want, with every child to have all those 12 vaccines in this country. We'll keep on sharing our thoughts, we'll keep on brainstorming, we will keep on reforming our action plans, and I'm sure that we'll celebrate another success of Indradhanush.
And the air quality of Delhi and NCR region continue to remain hazardous post-Diwali in several localities. The capital's overall air quality index stood at 410 at 4 p.m. on Thursday. 22 of the 37 air quality monitoring stations across Delhi recorded AQI in the severe category. However, weather experts said increased wind speed due to a fresh western disturbance would help disperse pollutants faster from Saturday. Cyclone MAHA, the 4th cyclone this year in the Arabian Sea, has further intensified into very severe cyclonic storm over Lakshadweep and adjoining Southeast Arabian Sea and Maldives area. According to the Met Department, light to moderate rainfall at most places, with heavy to very heavy rainfalls at a few places and extremely heavy rainfall at isolated places is likely over Lakshadweep Islands. Kerala, coastal Karnataka and South Tamil Nadu is also expected to receive heavy to very heavy rainfall at some places. As a precautionary measure, Kerala administration has shifted over 1,000 people to 11 relief camps. Sea condition will remain rough over the next 24 hours, and fishermen have been asked not to venture into the sea till Saturday until the cyclonic storm MAHA subsides. And now let's talk about the environment and climate change. On International Leopard Day on October 23rd, government launched a national level protocol called the Snow Leopard Population Assessment to estimate the population of snow leopards in the Himalayan ranges. The aim is to double the number of snow leopards in the next decade by promoting conservation. This initiative is a part of global population assessment of the world's snow leopards, or PAWS, which aims to have an estimate of the snow leopard population by 2022. In India, snow leopards mainly inhabit the higher and trans-Himalayan region spread across Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. It contributes to about 5% of the global snow leopard population. The main sources of threat for snow leopards are climate change, unregulated tourism, retribution killing, poaching, illegal trade, infrastructure development in the mountains, and excessive livestock grazing. The finals of the Inter-Ministerial Football Tournament 2019 was held in Delhi on Thursday. In the junior wing, the Rajya Sabha Secretariat team defeated the team of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting to win the title. In the first half, both the teams put up a tough fight, playing equally. But in the second half, the players of Rajya Sabha Secretariat took the lead with their better performance, scoring 2 goals, which helped them win the game. With a victory in the final match, the Rajya Sabha team won the tournament without losing any match. The record of scoring the highest goals was also awarded to a player of the Rajya Sabha team, S. Hukib. A total of 13 teams participated in the junior wing tournament. The Rajya Sabha Secretariat team were the winners in 2016-17 as well.
इंटर मिनिस्ट्री टूर्नामेंट है जो डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पर्सनल एंड ट्रेनिंग ऑर्गेनाइज करता है। इसमें देश के जितने भी हमारे सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के मंत्रालय हैं, ये सभी टीमें इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करती हैं और राज्यसभा ने भी इसमें पार्टिसिपेट किया। और कुल मिला के जो मुझे बताया गया है कि 13 टीमें इसमें मिनिस्ट्री की थी जिन्होंने इसमें पार्टिसिपेट किया और 2 ग्रुप थे हमारे, और कुल मिला के राज्यसभा ने फाइनल तक 8 मैच खेले और अजय रही, किसी भी मैच में नहीं हारी हमारी टीम।
तो हमेशा एहसास हमेशा इच्छा रहता है यहाँ पे, और इस टूर्नामेंट में मतलब हमें खेलने को इतना अच्छा मिलता है और इतना अच्छा ग्राउंड के साथ में, इतनी अच्छी व्यवस्था के साथ में, इतना अच्छा हम सेक्रेटरीट को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं, राज्यसभा सेक्रेटरीट को, उसका नाम रोशन करने का बहुत अच्छा मौका मिला, बहुत अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म मिला, और जीत के साथ तो खुशी और दुगनी होगी सर यहाँ पे।
And news now from the international front. The US House of Representatives on Thursday voted to approve the process to impeach President Donald Trump. A 435-member House approved 232 votes against 196 to formalize the impeachment process against Trump. The White House has called the move unfair, unconstitutional, and fundamentally un-American. In a tweet, US President called it the greatest witch hunt in American history. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi is leading the Democrats' efforts to impeach Trump. She insisted that Trump needs to go out of the White House. So far, only 2 US presidents, Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton, have been impeached by the US House of Representatives, but neither of them were convicted by the Senate. As a result, no US president has been removed from the office using the impeachment process. And that's all we have for you in this edition of Breakfast News. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.